Can you give us a few examples of a mind passages? Just
Yes. Okay, let us read from 3.26 onward. There was her drama's radiant prologue lived. Her drama's radiant prologue lived. He uses the word prologue. Means he is going to describe this is what is going to happen on the destined meeting place. The also going to be the destined place for Satyavan's death. You see. Prologue lived. A spot for the eternal state on earth where Satyavan's death is taking place. Eternal state on earth, set in the cloister yearning with the wood. So it is set away from everybody, you see, in this cloister yearning with the wood and watched by the aspiration of the page. There are mountains all around, appear through an orient opening in time, a golden opening in time. You see those mountains coming up there, see. Where stillness listening felt the unspoken word, and the hours forgot to pass towards grief and change at that particular period. Here, with the suddenness divine that went Sam, repeating the marvel of the first descent, repeating the marvel of the first descent, the way Savitri has come, changing to rapture the dull earthly round. Love came to her, hiding the shadow that Savitri is meeting love there, you see, for the first time. Well, might he find in her his perfect shrine. Savitri is the perfect shrine for love, God of love. Savitri is the perfect shrine for the God of love. Now, what is the kind of perfection is there? That is what we will do. See now. That is what we will do. Since first the earth beings heavenward growth began. Since earth beings heavenward growth began. Since first the earth beings heavenward growth, the arrival of man and his aspiration and his climbing up. It was our, sorry, that is what we got. And Savitri too awoke among this tribe. Since that time, since first the earth beings heavenward growth began, through all the long ordeal of the ray, through all the long ordeal, through the eons it has been happening. Never a rarer creature bore his shaft, his of God of love, of life. That burning test of the Godhead in our palm, a lightning from the heights on our abyss. That God of love is the lightning. All in her pointed to a nobler kind. All in her pointed to a nobler kind. That is what Savitri summarized here. She is the perfect shrine for the God of love, you see. And of course, also later on we'll say that Savitri herself is the shrine for the God of love. And God of love himself is a shrine for Savitri. He is the God for her. So what is the temple for the God of love? It is there Savitri goes. So they are both connected, you see. All is appointed to a nobler kind, near to earth's whiteness. It is from this point onward. 51 lines. Absolutely pure poetry of your mind. Absolutely pure poetry of your mind. We'll see that thing later on when we come to that part. But let us read that again today. Near to earth's wideness, intimate with heaven, exalted and swift as a young, large hidden spirit, voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm, voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm, overflew the ways of thought to unborn things. Savitri is already unborn things, her ways. Voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm. Now this line is an echo of verse voyaging across the seas of thought alone. That is what Vishnu says.
so it is from 331.
From this one, from near toward 331, from 331 onward till the end of the section. Near to earth's wideness, intimate with heaven, exalted and swift, her young, large vision spirit, voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm, overflew the ways of thought. She is beyond thought now, to unborn things which had to come. Ardent was the self-poised, unstumbling will. So strong is there, unstumbling will. Her mind a sea of white sincerity, passionate in flow, had not one turbid wave, had not one turbid wave, as in a mystic and dynamic dance, a priestess of immaculate ecstasy, inspired and ruled from truth's revealing form, moved in some prophet cavern of the God, a heart of silence in the hands of joy, a heart of silence in the hands of joy. What poetry is this? A heart of silence in the hands of joy, inhabited with rich creative beings, that heart beating, rich creative beings, a body like a parable of dawn, the same the niche for veiled divinity. So that is the niche where the divinity can go and sit there, veiled divinity, or golden temple door to things beyond. See the golden temple, the doors are opening to the things beyond this year. Immortal rhythm swayed in her time-born self. She has taken the birth in time. The immortal has come to the mortal world, but even in the mortal world, immortal rhythms are present. Her look, her smile awoke celestial sense even in earth stuff, even all material things. Her smile, her luminous smile, kindled to fire the silence of the words. That is what we are saying. Kindled to fire the silence of the world. Her smile, her luminous smile, her look, her smile awoke celestial sense even in us, and that intense delight poured a supernal beauty on men's life. She is dispersing all the richnesses to men's life. A wide self-giving was a native act. So she will constantly gives present boons. She has come here for that. A magnanimity as of sea or sky, enveloped with this greatness, all that came and gave a sense as of a greater world. So the world itself has become great. Her kindly care was a sweet, temperate sun. Kindly care was a sweet, temperate sun. So sun, hot body becomes sweet, is temperate. Her high passion, a blue heavens equipoised, as mighty soul fly like a hunted bird. The bird is flying. The hunter is chasing the bird, as mighty soul fly like a hunted bird, escaping with tired wings from a world of storms, and a quiet reach like a remembered pain. Now the bird is being hunted and is trying to escape, and then finally it meets the quiet. Where does the bird go? To the quiet, the hunted bird. Escaping with tired wings from a world of storm, and a quiet reach like a remembered place. Yes, this is my nest, this is my breath, and it is in that quiet the bird is going. In a heaven of safety and splendid soft repose, one could drink life back in streams of honey fire. One could drink life back in streams of honey fire. Honey fire, such intensity glow. Recover the lost habit of happiness. We have lost the habit of happiness. We are recovering it back because of her. Feel her bright nature's glorious ambience and free joy in her warm and colors rule. The bird cleans the feathers, you see, because it's the image of the bird is flying and reaching a quiet. So, and praying joy in her warm and colors rule. So that is what we can recover in her presence. A deep of compassion. She is a deep of compassion. She is a hushed sanctuary. Her inward help unbarred a gate in heaven. That help which comes from her, it opens the doors of heaven for us, you see. Her inward help unbarred a gate in heaven. Love in her was wider than the universe. That is terrific, absolutely. In other words, she is really beyond the universe. It is the love that has brought. Love in her was wider than the universe. The whole world could take refuge in her single heart. So, it's such a big heart it is, you see. The great unsatisfied Godhead here could dwell. Unsatisfied Godhead here could dwell. Unsatisfied Godhead. The God of pain, he remains unappeased, but he could dwell satisfied here, you see. The great unsatisfied Godhead here could dwell. Vacant as a dwarf's imprisoned air, her mood could harbor his sublimer breath, spiritual that can make all things divine. Spiritual that can make all things divine. All the littlenesses, smallnesses, pettinesses, they acquire the divine quality when you are in contact with her. Spiritual that can make all things divine. For even her guns were secrecies of light, even the hidden parts of her, the depths of her were secrecies of light. At once she was a stillness and a word. At once she was a stillness and a word. She is at once passive Brahman and active Brahman. Stillness, word, expression, dynamism. At once she was a stillness and a word. A continent of self-diffusing peace, an ocean of untrembling virgin fire. The strength, the silence of the gods were hers. What lines! At once there was a stillness and the word, a continent of self-diffusing peace, an ocean of untrembling virgin fire. The strength, the silence of the gods were hers. In her, he found a vastness like his own. He, God of love. In her, he found a vastness like his own. Therefore, he could naturally dwell in her. His high, warm, subtle ether, he refound. See, he was under the grip of death. He has plunged into the inconscience. But now, when Savitri is there, he has refound his highness. His high, warm, subtle ether, he refound. And moved in her as in his natural home. In her, he met his own eternity. So that is the union of Satyavan and Savitri also, you see. This is absolute poetry.
This is a poem of a mind.
Absolute overmind. This whole, all these 51 lines. Absolutely. Na plus ultra. Nothing beyond that. Na plus ultra. That is the French word. Na plus ultra. The Hercules pillars are there. Beyond the pillars of Hercules, there is nothing beyond. So here is the Hercules pillar. Nothing beyond that. Overmind.
And then the section 2.
Pardon me?
Then no mournful line had barred.
Yeah, well, I mean, then it because then now it comes to another story. Here describe the character of Savitri.
Okay, now the overmind stops. He met his own eternity.
Yeah, this is no up to here, up to 342, overmind.
Okay.
This is one trick.
Huh?
This is a contrast.
Actually, earlier this passage was really shorter. The first passage, which Sri Aurobindo had sent to Amal Kiran around 1936. Maybe some 30 lines or so, you see, just look at it. Then it got expanded and became 51 lines.
And you said it is one trick, no?
Huh?
You said it is mantra.
Yes.
Remember, it is a metric.
You can see the power it comes out. When you read it in that manner, you see something happening to you differently. That is the mantra. That is the mantra. That is the mantra. See?
There are many others.
There are a few more passages like that.
Okay.
But as a sustained long passage, this is unique. This is unique. There are few. 68.85. This is a powerful mantric line. The Rivan, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. The Rivan, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. Rivan means broken, split, smashed. When the atom is smashed, the force which comes out, he described in the occult manner. The Raven, see, this is a mantric line. You can see the difference. And nature's plastic and protein change, and strong with the death to slay or to create, the Raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes. You can see the power of the line, the alliterations of V's and R's, and the meter also, the Raven. It is, I am Anapes, 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 Anapes. 4 Anapes. It is a line with 14 syllables.
This line is over mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foes.
Only that line.
Huh?
Only that.
Only that. You can see the difference.
Exactly. To become
You
familiar.
can see the difference. See the previous line, see the line after that. You can see the quality of poetry. You can see the quality of poetry different.
It's a big difference.
No, you don't see. You read it aloud and then you feel the difference. These lines have to be read a little aloud to feel the power also. The sound power starts directly acting on the physical. On the physical. That is the mantra. On the physical. The raven, invisible atoms, omnipotent foe. See the golden breed, the wonderful fire. See, that is another kind of poetry. See the golden breed, wonderful fire. That is lyrical. But still mantric, it is still overhead. So like that, I think we'll have a separate session.
We have to discover.
We have to read. We'll have a separate session on the poetry of Savitri. We'll have a separate session on poetry of Savitri sometime. Let us first go through all these things and then, you see, particularly, huh?
Parts in Savitri which are supplemental poetry.
Supplementary?
No.
No supermind. No. Shivananda says that. Well, Amal Kiran did ask, but Shivananda didn't reply. Super. No. See, because obviously supermind needs a different kind of a language. It has to create its own language, its own physical base. Unless that physical base is there, supermind cannot come into expression.
Yeah, this will be different.
It cannot come into expression. It needs a physical base for that.
But will there still be writings in the supermind?
No, he says it is overmind. The entire
In
overmind.
the supermind, there will not be any.
Supermind, see, you need a physical base for that. The language, the power, the expression, they have to be different.
We don't need any more language then.
No, it can be. It does not mean that when the supermind is there, then it does not mean that when there is supermind, there is no expression.
No, but the expression is not with the physical.
Well, it can be. Voice, word, of course, word, power. The moment you say yes, at once it gets materialized. Materialized, tathastu. The moment you say that, it happens. That is power, that is required, word. It does not mean that there is no word, there is no expression. Brahma. Brahma is word, power of expression. That have not come down. Actually, according to the old Indian system, there are 4 grades of language. Vaikhari, Madhyama, Paschanti, Para. Vaikhari, Madhyama, Paschanti, Para. Vaikhari means the normal language we speak. Vaikhari. Madhyama, the one which is intermediate between we and gods. Then Paschanti, the language which sees directly. Paschanti means look, see. Paschanti. And then Para, the transcendental. The transcendental. Now that has not come into expression. Paschanti is of course there. The Veda is full of Paschanti. Veda is full of Paschanti. Veda is overmind poetry. Veda is overmind poetry. Not all through, but majority of them.
What about Upanishads?
Huh?
What about Upanishads?
Upanishad not always. Not always. It is overhead, but not overhead, but not necessarily overmind. But for the first time, absolutely for the first time, on a sustained scale like that in English, this is the only example. Absolutely. So that is how Shakespeare has opened out a new door for the future poetry. And he has given this thing as an example through English. If it can happen through English, it means that it can happen through other languages also. The power has been brought down. It's a question of now we picking it up and taking it forward, you see. The obligation is on us. The door has been opened out. The raven, invisible lateral, omnipotent pole, one I am and four NFS, absolutely real line. And see the repetition of V, the raven, invisible lateral, omnipotent pole, and T, alliteration. Such power that is packed in this line, you see. There are a few more lines like that. We'll see them when we have a separate session on the poetry of Savitri.